Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to Blaised Cards. All right, so today we are going to talk about cards. Collector cards. We're going to talk about wrestling cards in general. So as you see around me, I've been a collector for years of all kinds of sports memorabilia, and I figured since we got a little wrestling community, we'll talk about wrestling cards. We'll go way back to the 80s, into the 90s, and all the way up to now, showing off a bunch of the cards that I have. And but first, let's check on who's in the chat. We do have Monstar in the building. Prime Time is here. Ebola Zaire is in the building as well. Appreciate it. And if you guys are watching a replay, we'll try to keep this within like an hour. Go ahead and hit the share button. Leave me a comment afterwards. Your favorite wrestlers, do you collect cards, anything else like that? Wes is in the building. What's happening, Wes? Good to see you, man. Well, we're going to get into it. I'm going to talk about the cards that I have right in front of me. I have stacks all over the place. Just going to make it fun, and we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm just making sure I share this out to a couple places. People can check it out whenever they want. Happy Friday the 13th, of course, as well. It's going to be an interesting show, something a little different. Just sit here and chit chat. And we'll talk about, I'll do some guess who's. So it'll be like, who is this card? Guess who it is? Stuff like that. So we'll see. All right. So let's go ahead and start with collecting. Collecting to me has turned from collecting into investing, and pretty much now it's gambling. And Like you'll see, I have a lot of older cards, 80s and 90s. We're gonna talk about non-sports cards first, which are like, from TV shows and stuff like that as well. So we'll see how it goes. Um, and we'll talk about different types of collecting. I don't have a lot of newer cards because I don't have the cash to pay for what they want for unopened packs and cards, but I have a couple newer cards we can show and talk about as well. We got Matt Storm in the building. What is happening? Odds is here. No Pikachu. But I do have some garbage pail kids, if you remember those. Vic is in the house. What's happening? Kill Shot is here. That's what I'm talking about. So the first thing we want to talk about here, we're going to go to non-sports cards. And we'll go to the card cam to see a couple. This one, it's like a World War II card or something, Civil War. It's kind of funny. I know we do the pauses and everything. It says, attacked from behind. Oh, boy. But I don't know where this card came from, but I have it, and it's a non-sports card. I mean, for those that don't know, a lot of cards started out in tobacco packs and stuff like that. So that is one of the first ones I have. I don't know where this came from. It's just a fire engine. But non-sports cards have actually come back into the market. They're, a little more popular now than they were before. I hate to say anything good came from the COVID era, but COVID actually brought a lot of people back to collecting. It turned the hobby, through the roof for a while. So for a couple of years, everything was really expensive. This card has a lot of meaning to my childhood. You might remember the movie. But I called this the chicken soup card. And the reason I called it the chicken soup card is, well, I spilled chicken soup on it when I was a kid. And remember the scratch and sniff stickers and stuff? This is a scratch and sniff card. You guys remember Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Ooh, this is nice for, I don't have any Friday the 13th cards, but this is, and it's stained because it's creased, it's messed up. So you're not talking about the best cards, but this card brings me back to my childhood. And I don't know if it still smells like chicken soup or not, but I'm not going to try it to find out. It's everything's protected now. I got all kinds of different cases. Here's a 72 Courier. I don't even know what this is. It's a card. I mean, a weird looking truck. It's a card from way back in the day. Obviously, you could tell it's the 70s, but just some weird cards I wanted to show you off. I remember Charlie's Angels. How about that? So that's an old Charlie's Angel card. That's pretty odd. And on the back, it was part of a puzzle. We'll talk about that here in a little bit too. Cards that that the backs became puzzles, which was pretty creative. A creative way to put them all together. About, so we'll talk about music cards too. People from music. We got, this is Kiss, the band Kiss. Got a couple of those Kiss cards. Obviously not in the best condition, but these are cards from my childhood. This is Rocky. Remember the movie Rocky 2? When he got married. One of my favorite TV shows, Mork and Mindy. I know Monstar's out there. He's got to remember this. Monstar, Mork and Mindy. I don't know if you guys remember the TV show Mork and Mindy. We will do a little guess who when we get to the wrestling cards. Battlestar Galactica. That was I think they did movies as well, but look how old. These are very old. It's weird because a lot of these cards don't have the year on the back. So I know it's the 70s, but Battlestar Galactica. Here's another one. Battlestar Galactica in the back is a piece of a puzzle. So you had to collect the set. It wasn't always about finding the chase cards or the ones that are the most expensive. Another show that I love, The Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, it's just a picture of a car jumping through the air. Another Dukes of Hazzard one here. There's good old Bo and Luke. Is that Cletus? Is that, Monstar, where you at? I need your help here. And once again, it's a puzzle on the back, so it doesn't tell you. Now, a lot of the cards, if you follow people that are breakers and card collectors now, they'll open a pack of cards and they'll fly right through the cards. And that's not what I'm about. I love the artwork on these cards, so I'm a big fan of the artwork of the cards. And on the back when they used to have stats and information, and I always remember 1978 Topps cards where they had like a game on the back. It said single or double or triple or fly out, so you could play a game. Hey, Chad's in the house. What's up, Chad? Good to see you, man. Oh, I didn't even know they were live. I missed it. Are they still live or they're done? Stream 2 minutes ago. I'll catch a replay over there with them. It was early. I thought they did those shows later. There he is, Larry. Check out the replay. We're going to talk about a bunch of different cards. Another collector friend of mine, Larry. Shout out to you. How about Star Wars cards? Here's Luke, Obi-Wan, and C-3PO. So, I mean, and these aren't, worth a ton of money. If you go to eBay, and an eBay feature that I love is you take a little picture of the card and it'll automatically search it for you. So here's Rebels in the Trench, another old Star Wars card. I wish I would have collected more of the Star Wars. Hey, if I knew what I knew now back then, I would have bought a box of cards to open and a box of cards to keep. Yeah, another thing they do too is and we talked about it on the last Blaised card show odds, is now they're taking CT scans. That's a pretty cool one. They're taking CT scans of the boxes so they can tell where the thicker cards are, the autographs, the chase cards, the ones that have gold foil embossing on it. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. And to get the big cards in the newer era, you got to buy the $200 boxes, which that's ridiculous. To me, even buying a pack of cards where you're paying over $1 a card is ridiculous to me. But that's the way the industry's gone. Here's another Star Wars card, the Death Star. And then here we go. We'll talk about these. Garbage Pail Kids, Drew Blood. How about it? These were gross. They were crazy. And I believe these are first series or second series that I still have. I don't have any of the real valuable ones. But Garbage Pail Kids became very popular. And another reason, I mean, they're stickers, if you can tell. So a lot of people would open, and we'll show you stickers in the wrestling cards too. It made the cards more rare because a lot of people would open the stickers. How about Bony Tony? Oh boy. Bony Tony unzips his freaking head. How about it? And all these Garbage Pail Kids are also on the back a puzzle. Pop Corny? That's corny, all right. It's not even a good dad joke. You get them dad jokes going in the chat if you want. So we'll get to the wrestling cards here. I just have a couple more of these. There's Gutsy Gus, another Garbage Pail. How about it? 24 Bowman Baseball has Garbage Pail inserts. Yeah. And that's the thing. They got so big, they just continued to bring out different series and different, just like the Pokemon cards, which blew up as well. Tons of different gaming cards, Magic the Gathering cards and things like that. Here's a funny one. Kitty Litter. College football. Yeah. I got a bunch of football cards. Kitty Litter. Oh boy. Just going through some of these weird cards that I got here. Greta Garbage. A little pun on Greta Garbo, I guess, for some of you old heads out there. Christine Vaccine. Oh, how relevant that is now. That's gross. I don't like needles. All right, we're done with that one. Anybody want to buy those or any of these? And another Mork and Mindy card slipped in there. Now, I found cards that were really interesting because I was into music a lot. Pro Set. When Pro Set came out in the late 80s, Pro Set came out with a bunch of cards with musicians on it. So, and all kinds of musicians. So these were like prototype ones. You got Jimi Hendrix and MC Hammer. Pretty interesting. I wonder if it's this TV that's showing the glare. MC Hammer, Jimi Hendrix, pretty wild. And these ones, did have a little more info on the back, a little bio and stuff. And then you got some Yo MTV Raps made by, were these ones Pro Set too? Pro Set, yep. So Run DMC. You got Digital Underground, where Tupac came from. Public Enemy. Another Run DMC card. And one of my favorites, Eric B. and Rakim. So really old, weird type cards like that. And we'll get into some more of those here in a little bit. We got Crosby, Stills, and Nash. The Doors. There's a couple. There's another Doors. So, and these, once again, you could probably get the set of these for 20 to 15, 20 bucks on eBay. What's up, Daniel Barry? Jimi Hendrix, The Who, Led Zeppelin. That's a weird card. Well, how stoned are they? We got more Led Zeppelin. That's a cool one. You know, just seeing them on stage. Led Zeppelin. And we got I can't go for that. No. Hall and Oates. Hall and Oates. What's on your mind? I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind. Remember, I don't know, 80s people out there. Information Society. In Excess. Lenny Kravitz. It's kind of crazy. He was on the VMAs the other night. Huey Lewis in the News. How about it? Ziggy Marley. Sting. We'll talk about a different Sting later. We got Belle Biv DeVoe. The Bullet Boys. Some 80s rock there. Digital Underground again. The Force MDs. Old hip hop. Third Base. The Clash. Going back to the 70s and such. 80s. Kiss. Living Color. Everybody knows CM Punk's theme song, Call to Personality. Love their drummer. I'm a drummer myself, so I really love them. Motorhead. Wrestling again. Triple H's theme. Sacred Reich, another metal band. Soundgarden. Rest in peace. Chris Cornell. Suicidal Tendencies. Another crazy band from back in the day. The Scorpions. You got Ted Nugent. Of course, the legendary Ozzy, Tom Petty. So these Pro Set cards were pretty cool. Something different. And I actually forgot that I did this, but I had made a couple of these with some of these cards. So you can see like Marley and the Doors and John Lennon and such. Pretty cool. And I forgot that I made those. And I have a couple of them that have more of those Pro Set cards. I was making use of them. Lita Ford, Debbie Gibson, The Pretenders, Ozzy Osbourne. So here's a bunch more of them. A nice way to display them, hang them up. So I got into, whenever cards weren't that big, I got into making artwork out of it. So I made a lot of collages. Here's a friend of mine is going to give this to because they were a big fan of Madonna. So there's a bunch of Madonna cards there. So the non-sports cards, very interesting. Let's see here. Some of the same rock bands we just talked about. Santana as well. Ted Nugent and company. And more hip-hop. This is one of my favorite ones. Big Daddy Kane, De La Soul, Run DMC, Eric B. Rakim, Boogie Down Productions, EPMD, Kool Mo D, LL Cool J, and Biz Markie. R.I.P. Biz Markie. Pretty cool. But when I did that, I actually made some of these too, like Steelers, and I decorate the frame. I should just put a bunch of these up on eBay because these are. I tried to use the cards that weren't worth that much, so dollar cards, 50-cent cards. But when you put them on a frame like this, I should be able to sell this for like 20 bucks, maybe. Who knows? You find the right person. That's the thing about cards; it's only worth however much you can find someone to buy them. So I got addicted to doing these. I found these frames somewhere for really cheap. So there's more Steeler. It's a Steeler team set there. Back when they won Super Bowl. One of my favorite basketball players, Rex Chapman. And then I was also a fan of the Chargers. Some Chargers on here. So and I tried to make it a little different with the lightning bolts on the side. Make it a little interesting, something to hang on the wall or eventually sell or anything. Shifty's in the house. We're gonna get into the wrestling cards now. We're gonna go back in the day, Rob Machete, and you guys in the chat, feel free to let me know who these guys are. The first ones I'm just gonna show off, but some of the other ones, the names are on the bottom, so I'll kind of show them. You'll see Three's Company cards, very cool. I mean, it's all about condition and also whether you grade them. Let's see, Digimon. Yes, I do remember those cards too. So yeah, it's collectibles is it's weird because back in the day it was collecting a set, collecting your favorite player, finding out who was the MVP, rookie of the year, etc. But let's get into the wrestling card. So I just wanted to go through some non-sports cards first, show you those. Now, back in the day, there was these things called magazines. You guys remember them? Wrestling magazines. And in one of these magazines, which I wish I would have kept them in the magazine, because it'd be worth a lot more money now. But Wrestling All-Stars was one of the magazines I really liked. And they had a complete set of cards. I cut them all out. So yes, they're not worth anything, but they're worth a lot to me. And once we go through some of these wrestlers, I think it'll take some of you back. And feel free to comment in the chat if you like those or which one is your favorite and whatsoever. So this is just when he became Hulk Hogan. So Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan, pretty weird there. And I do have a little stand here. Maybe we'll put Hulk on it. So we got a little Hulk Hogan card there. One of my favorites here. I actually put this in a picture from a wrestling show that I went to in a frame, and that is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And these ones, they would have a little bit of info on the back. So he's 243 pounds from Minneapolis, Minnesota. NWA World's Champion when he won it. Flair, Perry Von Erich, Magnum TA. So I like cards where you're going to learn something. You're going to look into what they're all about. You guys can tell me what they called him in WWE. Rick Martel. You remember Rick Martel? This is AWA. So this stack of cards here is going to mix WWF, WCCW, which is World Class Championship Wrestling, AWA, all in one. So this is Rick Martel. Very cool. Of course, you guys remember Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter, yes, indeed. The model, yes. There, I knew someone would know it. I'm going to throw some quiz questions at you guys along the way. And fucking the Hulk Hogan, we got Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik. Now, I tried to cut these out as good as I could, but if I would have known how about, I mean, now I looked on eBay and you can find the whole set of these in the magazine for, I think, a couple, probably $1,000 because it's so rare that someone kept them in the magazine or even kept the magazine. But these were all in one magazine, not to be confused with the vice president. There it is. The Ugandan Giant. Here's one of my favorites. R.I.P. Sheiky Baby. The American Dream, the son of a plumber, Dusty Rhodes. If you ever seen the video of Dusty playing basketball back in the day, WCW basketball, Dusty Rhodes had game on the hoop court. Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. It was funny because, you go back in the day, there was, a lot of wrestlers that look like just wrestlers and some that were like chiseled bodybuilders. Luger is another one that comes to mind. How about some teams here? Fabulous Freebirds. The Freebirds, legendary. Big John Studd. I remember seeing him at a local, like, junior high school, and then Andre the Giant came out, and I thought Big John Studd was big. Then Andre come out. I still got to watch the movie, the Von Erich movie, but Kerry Von Erich. Kerry Von Erich was one of my favorites in world class wrestling. It was always cool to see like Flair go to WCCW and fight down in Texas, or to see Kerry Von Erich show up on NWA WCW. Dusty was so over. Yeah, I know. The damn polka dots, for goodness sakes. And we have Pete Wall. No, I mean Jimmy the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant. Another good one. Classic. The Boogie Woogie Man. Another man that used the old claw. I have his. I have a bunch of AWA. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I knew I'd forget to do it. We have I got a bunch of my wrestling figures down there, a bunch more in the basement, and I've gone over the wrestling figures on a Legion of Dork show where we talked about wrestling figures, but I do have a Baron Von Raschke. Talk about weird and wild and wacky. The Missing Link. Painted up, freak. People thought George Animal Steel was weird. Another favorite. I always think of the movie They Live and the Bubblegum Line and the talk show, and just like so good on the mic. So good on the mic was Roddy Piper, R.I.P. That's another thing. A lot of these wrestlers are gone. Another one that I say was embarrassed by what they did to him in WWEF, the Red Rooster. Give me a break. Terry Taylor was a great wrestler. So Terry Taylor. A lot of people don't remember Superstar Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham, a great one. And like I said, if you guys are watching a replay, drop me a comment. Let me know, who were your favorites out of these? You know what I mean? Like who did you resonate with from back in the day? All right. So we got Billy Graham. Universal Wrestling worldwide, Carlos Colon was famous down in the Caribbean. But see, that's the thing. Like the greatest fighters in the Caribbean, other places, Ric Flair. I keep thinking of Ric Flair. He traveled around the world and fought pretty much all of them. Another one passed away recently, R.I.P. Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster, showing the evil side of wrestling. I know what it is. Does anybody remember the nickname for Tommy Rich? You remember Tommy Rich? I believe he was AWA as well, WTBS, Superstation, WC, NWA Worlds. He won the World's Heavyweight Championship from Harley Race in 1981. There's rumors about this guy coming back. I haven't seen the confirmation yet. He was was it Raw or SmackDown or whatever? I saw a picture with him and Triple H. Rumors are Saturday night's main event is coming back, and Jesse the Body Ventura will be on commentary again. So, I mean, legendary in and out of the ring, the Body, Jesse. See Tony Atlas there behind him. So I hope the rumors are true. It was a couple wrestling outlets announced it the other day that it's possible. It looks like it's going to happen. So I'm hoping Saturday Night Main Event does come back and Jesse the Body Ventura is there. Wildfire, there it is. Wildfire, Tommy Rich. You got it. You got it. What's up, Jake? Thanks for popping in, man. This will bring back some memories for you old wrestling fans out there. Kevin, another Von Erich. Tragedy throughout that whole family. I do got to watch them. I don't want to cry. I will definitely cry. It's probably a sad movie, but King Kong Bundy. I just remember his WWF figure, how weird it looked. I had the LJN, was it LJN, the original, those weird looking figures? Cassie Madam Red. I don't know if you heard the news from last night's show, Cassie. Surprise. I was going to do a 20-woman. I'll break the news here. I was going to do a 20-woman gauntlet on the EFED on next week. However, I realized I have 26 ladies and 4 Great Hall ladies. So, Cassie, Mrs. Utaker, Shalky, and Wrestling Mama will all be in the gauntlet. So I got one last chance to get a shot at the Battle Queen title. How about it? So I made that announcement last night. It's good to see you. Good to see everybody else. Another one, Wahoo McDaniel, a great from the past. Always enjoyed Wahoo dancing around, and back there it was very stereotypical. You had the Asian wrestlers, the Indian wrestlers, this type of wrestler, and it was about bigger than life and stereotypes, literally. The Hammer, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Well, there you go. And these are from 1985, people. B-Dog, what is up? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Keep the thumbs up coming, everybody. You guys are awesome. We're going to go through some more of these wrestling cards from the past and get all the way up to today. Where are we at? 16 likes already. You guys are awesome. Ken Patera. I don't know if a lot of you guys remember Ken Patera, the strong man from back in the day. Another good one. Another RIP. Magnum TA. RIP to his career. Whenever I remember when Terry Allen Magnum TA had the car accident. They brought him out in a wheelchair. United States champion. It reminds me of Hangman Page. A lot of Hangman Page in Magnum TA, if you ask me. Got a tag team here. Great tag team. They're still wrestling. The Rock and Roll Express. What did they change tag team wrestling? They really changed, in my opinion, they really changed tag team wrestling. Made it flashier, gimmicky, the drop kicks, the tassels and all that stuff that they had on. Famous for commentary, but a legend in the ring as well. Jerry the King Lawler. That's another good one. The King. Another great character, the JYD. Always fun to see the JYD out there wrecking shop. Junkyard Dog, another classic. I think he won a lot of championships. Intercontinental. I don't know if he was ever a tag champ or not. One of my favorites here, he was part of they wrestled in a local RWA, Renegade Wrestling Alliance here in the Pittsburgh area. They came back and won the tag title. Doc from the Wrestle Sense podcast. He was so thrilled he got to call a Rock and Roll Express match. I think it was last year or the year before they won the tag titles here. One of my favorites, man. Don't call him the Widowmaker. Isn't that what they called him? Oh, boy. It's Barry Windham, baby. Love Barry Windham. Even before he was with the Horsemen. Of course, Blackjack Mulligan, his father. Jay Youngblood. What was the other one's name? Mark and Jay Youngblood. How about Mark and Jay Briscoe? Mark and Jay Youngblood. See, I messed up the cut on the top of that. See? Cut the shit out of that one. Yeah, a lot of these wrestlers are WCCW, Jake, so World Class Championship Wrestling. Another legend. I remember the matches with Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, the Dragon. Ken Patera. Ken and Saito threw a boulder through a McDonald's window. I'm sure there's some good. This was one of my favorites. This is one of the guys that got me into wrestling. Superfly Jimmy Snuka. I remember seeing him jump off of Andre the Giant's shoulder at one of those local shows here in my area. Superfly Jimmy Snuka. The greatest tag team of all time, in my opinion, I guess. The baddest team in the world. I don't even call them the Legion of Doom. They are the Road Warriors. Hawk and Animal. Hawk is my favorite. One of my favorite wrestlers. He's in my top 5. A lot of people don't know that. Flair, Dusty, Sting, Road Warriors. That's who I grew up on and who I love. Paul Ellering still managing. I don't like that they're trying to make other teams like the Road Warriors for real. I mean, I get why, because they were so badass, but the greatest tag team of all time. I know a lot of people put the Dudleys or the Usos and other teams like that up there as well. Randy RKO, there's his dad, Bob Orton. Yeah, WCCW, I loved watching when they showed, like, what was it called? The Sportatorium or whatever, where they had the matches down in Texas. And a lot of the NWA ones and the ones we saw around here were in smaller arenas. To see those ones in Texas where they were outside was always really cool for me. Billy Graham, yeah, you missed him. Billy Graham. Here, I'll show you the Billy Graham one again. You might have came up after that. Superstar Billy Graham. There you go. One of Jake's favorites. And, of course, they weren't as many back then or as popular. We didn't see a lot of them. The Luchas. Here's Mil Mascaras. First masked man to make it big in the wrestling profession. Mexico City. Polish Power, Ivan Putski. I mean, a mid-carder at best. I don't even know if he won any championships. World-class bodybuilder, Polish Power, Ivan Putski. Also a member of the Freebirds for a time there. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Precious. Love it. Jessica, what is up, Jessica? How you doing? Okay, another. Oh, I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. It wouldn't be one of my shows without technical difficulties, of course. Oh, are we grainy now? We were doing so good with the camera. You got to be shitting me. There we go. I think it's coming back. See my other stacks of cards. Oh, you're kidding me. We were doing so good. Hey, Fathom, how you doing? There we go. I think it just focused. All right. Let's get back to it. We got a little better focus. We were talking about him the other day here. Gentleman Chris Adams. One of the masters of the super kick. Man, I was doing so good, and now it's all jacked up. I wonder if I put my other camera on, if it would be any better. Ooh, just focus for a second there. Focus, Daniel-san. Well, every time you use your phone, let's see if this is clearer. I think the top one's looking good now. Let's get this out of here. All right. Brad Armstrong. There we go. We're focused again. Brad Armstrong. Gino Hernandez. Texas champion, I believe. There's the Texas Western champion or whatever. Gino's father, Louis Hernandez, was also a pro wrestler. The legendary Tully Blanchard from the Horsemen. I don't know what title belt that is. Mid-Atlantic World TV title. The Sheep Herders. Another great tag team from back in the day. And I was talking about him earlier, of course, the legendary Andre the Giant. I mean, when I saw him it's unreal to see him in person. You know, you can see him on TV compared to the other big guys, but that's insane. I have these guys wrestling figure, too, from those AWA figures. The fabulous ones. Steve Kern and Stan Lane. All right, here's your trivia question. The Tonga Kid. Isn't he in the bloodline? Who's his kids? Who's the Tonga Kid's kids? So a lot of the bloodline talking. This is back 1985 bloodline. The Masked Superstar, another masked character from back in the day. See if anybody knows who's the Tonga Kid's kid. Billy Jack Haynes. You know, there was Gorgeous George back in, I believe, 60s and the 70s. And then there was Adrian Street. Jacob Fatu, there you go. Adrian Street. Oh, boy, what a character. What a character. There you go. Jacob Fatu. Tonga kids in the bloodline. Yep. Rocky Johnson, The Rock's dad, and this guy was the first wrestling match I ever saw. Now you can see I didn't do a good job of cutting this one out of the magazine. I took the whole corner out there. So I mean the set I've seen for $100 or less. Hey, you know who Bruno Sammartino is, but do you remember David? David Sammartino. And of course, we'll end with the Pittsburgh legend himself, Bruno Sammartino. So that was Wrestling All-Stars. Great little set there. I used to have a lot of these in binders, but binders became not the cool thing to have for the cards. But now we're getting into this set right here. You got a Hulk Hogan. They called it his rookie card, but this is 85 tops. Now I got this one graded. It's only a 7 because you can see it's off-centered and whatnot. Who cares? But I have the whole set. So let's take a look at them. Some crazy ones in here, some fun ones. This is actually Andre was only 7 foot. They said he was 7'5", even though he wasn't. Billy Jack and Superstar Graham at the Armory down the street. Wow, nice. That's what old school wrestling seen him in this. So this is from an actual pack, like the top of a cello pack, which will be like a cellophane wrap pack. 26 cards in a pack and 3 stickers. So let's take a look at these cards. I just showed the Hogan. There it is again. Hogan. So I have a couple of these Hogans actually. PWI magazines. Maybe. We got the 100th issue and the Super Cards issue from way back in the 80s. Actually, this is how I started e-fetting, because I found a ad for IWA. IWA, which is Imaginary Wrestling Association, where literally inside of these magazines, you'd fill out your name of your character, where they're from, pick all their moves and send it in, and they send you back. That is the beginning of my e-fed career back in the 80s. So we got Sheik again, Iron Sheik. This is when the, wrestling really started taking off into pop culture. Captain Lou Albano. Captain Lou. And these have 304 pounds from Carmel, New York. Cyndi Lauper, of course. We talked about the Junkyard Dog. There's the dog again. Look at the look on his face. And these are all WWC, WWF before they got the F out. Mr. Wonderful. This is a really good looking one of Snuka. And we talked about Piper earlier. There's another one of, come on, card. Piper. The rowdy one. I got to see her at the card show. Chad will remember. Wendy Richter. I don't know, if you ask me who my favorite women's wrestler is of all time, it might be her. It might be her. We saw Greg the Hammer Valentine before. There's another Greg the Hammer. This one, I believe that's the Intercontinental Championship. Yep. Dusty's one of my favorites, too, of all time, for sure. Brutus Beefcake, the barber. Once again, we talked about him and the possibility of Saturday night's main event coming back. And will Jesse the Body be on commentary again? That'd be pretty cool, if you ask me. Dubs, what is up? Dubs is in the house. We got Big John Studd again. These are 1985 tops. That's the whole set. Fabulous Moolah. No, Chad, she's not in my bed. This is a cool one. I like just the pose itself, showing off the belt. Tito Santana. Pretty damn cool. Get this centered again. A lot of people remember Hillbilly Jim. Hogan hanging out with Hillbilly Jim. Very cool. And this is the champion Hogan. So it's not. That's the same one. How many do I have? See the background different? That's all. Just a different background. Not a lot of CGI back in those days, but uh-oh. F Mr. Fuji, Mors Monstar. Mr. Fuji. Great. Looks like the Andrew Dubs outfit there, huh, Dubs? See if I can get myself a little bit more room. There we go. Oh, we talked about Barry Windham earlier. How about the tag team of Windham and Rotundo? I didn't think it was Rotundo and Windham. I thought it was Windham and Rotundo. Same difference. How about the Moondogs? Moondog Spot. Very, very cool. Wow. They bring like a bone to the ring. Hey now, bring your own bone to the ring. And close out some of these windows. We saw Strongbow. Will you do a wrestling trivia show? I thought about it. I mean, I just want to show off the cards here. Maybe someday we'll do a little trivia and stuff. Chief J Strongbow and George the Animal Steel. And that's all the single cards. A lot of the other ones here are like in action. Let go of my toe. Big John Studd. There's one in here I really like. There's a women's one. Beefcake. These are all in action. Stretched to the limit. They're just like in action cards, so I don't want to spend the whole time on those. But there's a bunch of these in action cards, and we're going to get to some newer ones as well here soon. So these are all action cards. There's George the Animal Steel. There's one where all these action cards, my goodness. If they only knew that. Looks like he's taking a shit. Oh, speaking of shit. Now I got to wait for it to focus again. Oh, shit. All right. I don't know how I did it last time. I got it to focus. There we go. But a lot of these in-action cards, I don't want to waste too much time on them. There was one that I really wanted to show. Here it is. Jimmy Snuka jumping off the top of Andre the Giant's shoulders, just like I said. That's a cool one. So, and, oh, look, Hulk Hogan punching a boombox. I doubt he actually punched the boombox. And then they did ones with these TV cards, part of the set. And there's Wendy Richter. It's the Rock and Wrestling Connection. Now, what they also included in this set were stickers. And like I said before, if you put all the stickers together, they make a poster. And they make a poster of this. It's a Hogan poster, but all the backs make a poster. Pretty cool. So it makes you want to collect the whole stack of them. You have a Hogan. And these are in pretty good condition, too. I'm surprised. This is good. Look at Captain Lou. They got him eating a bunch of food, and he got chips all in his chest hair and shit. Brutus Beefcake sticker. You got Jesse Ventura, Iron Sheik, Snuka. There's Hogan, the Washington Monument. There's the same. They just basically took a lot of the pictures of the regular cards. There's Snuka flying through the air and put them on stickers. Camel Clutch. So that is, and there's the actual poster on a sticker. So that was 1985 tops. Yeah, a couple more from this. Ricky the Dragon. Hercules Hernandez and Bobby the Brain. And they had some of these action cards with Miss Elizabeth. How about this one? Who remembers this one? All right, here's your trivia question. Who's the ref turned wrestler? Who is that? Who is that guy? Anybody remember? What was his name? The referee turned wrestler. Who is that guy? Prime time. Got it. Danny Davis. How about it? It was a nice little gimmick they pulled off. Jake got it. Prime time got it. Odds got it. There you go. And this design, if you look at it, in 2017, they brought back the design, and here is a Brock Lesnar from that design. So Brock Lesnar, a graded Brock up there. Let's get into WCW. 1991 WCW. I bought a box of these cards and opened a lot of them. It's weird because like all these cards were like 7 different wrestlers, but there was like 10 of each of them. Almost all of them are either Ric Flair, which I'm not complaining, or Sting. Those are my 2 favorite ones there, of the Flair and the Sting. But these cards I think I got the box for like $50. You got Flair at the Horseman, Flair. These are all different Flair cards. That one's the best one of the best ones with the green robe. There's him and Sting. Speaking of Sting, we got a whole shitload of different Sting cards. Same set. It's a bunch of Sting cards. That one's really cool. I like that outfit he had. Looks kind of Bret Hartish because it's black and pink. Surfer Sting. Sting is one of my favorite, if not my favorite of all time. And then we got a couple other ones that were in the set I just wanted to highlight. There's the torture rack from Lex Luger. The total package. R.I.P. Another one lost recently, Sid Vicious. Arn Anderson. I'm still waiting for him to show up with Cody at some point in WWE. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. Arn Anderson. Brian Pillman. We're going to get to guess the card here in a little bit. I got one of the sets. All right. See who can guess this guy's name. What's Z-Man's real name? What was his wrestling name? Z-Man. Primetime got to meet Sting and Rick Steiner. Very cool. Z-Man. Anybody remember what his name was? The Z-Man. Tom Zink. There you go. Tom Zink. You got it. There's another Terry Taylor. This guy's still around. Dutch Mantel. We had the other card of him, Wildfire Tommy Rich. We saw the Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton. Dirty Dutch. We got a couple tag teams here in this set. The Steiner brothers. I like how they got the dog there too. Remember the Varsity Club too, when they had like Dr. Death and they all had their varsity jackets on. Rotundo was Syracuse, Dr. Death was Oklahoma, and Steiner was Michigan. The Varsity Club. Talked about the Freebirds before. There's the Freebirds again. That's when Jimmy Garvin and Michael Hayes were the Freebirds in WCW. Yeah, the Midnight Express, another great one. Definitely the best spine buster ever. I agree. And when I see this tag team, it just makes... Oh, shit. I do have to switch to my other phone. All right, let me do a quick switch to my other phone. This battery's about to die. All right. Phone number 2. Focus, Daniel son. And here we go. All right, we're back. It's a new phone and more power. All right. I was going to say, damn, it's Doom. Doom. You guys remember the tag team of Doom? Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. And maybe they're going to fight The Undertaker. No, Teddy Long. Good old Teddy Long. Teddy Long. And of course, the legendary Jim Ross. Look how young he looks. And that crazy biatch, Missy Hyatt. How about it? A lot of kids had a crush on Missy Hyatt. Butch Reed definitely underestimated for sure. We are all done with those. Let's get into good old JR and his barbecue sauce. Let's get into 1998 WCW before the fall, as some like to say. We still have a couple more sets to go through here. Goldberg doing the old jackhammer. Yeah, Scott Hall. NWA, he's doing the Razor's Edge. How about Scott Norton? I think he was underestimated too. He's like the assassin. He would come out and just beat people down, Scott Norton. This is when all those guys were coming over from WWF. Here's the British Bulldog. Is that Kurt Hennig right next to him with the face like that? That's weird. Hey, Anthony's in the house. Of course, I was going to wait to show this off, but why not now? Look at this guy. Tony Hansen autograph card. There he is in the chat. Former pro wrestler and a friend of mine, Pittsburgh. If I'm going to show off my wrestling cards, I got to show off my Tony Hansen tag team champion card. Is that was Kurt? Oh, that was DDP? Or was it Kurt? So there he is, the man in the chat right now, known as Pittsburgh. Autograph card from him. Got it graded. It's my boy. Big shout out to him. Check out his channel on here too. Always doing good stuff. So we went through a bunch of non-sports cards first. Had some Garbage Pail Kids and some Star Wars cards. Some of those old non-sports cards that we went through, the Close Encounters of the Third Kind card that I called the chicken soup card because I spilled chicken soup on it when I was a kid. Dukes of Hazzard card with Luke and Bo Duke. I found a bunch of these and I was like, pretty cool. Battlestar Galactica. Just talking about how non-sports cards were, out there. And we talked about some of the Garbage Pail Kids earlier. You can rewind and check those out. And Pro Set, when Pro Set came out with the cards of all the musicians, these are the promo cards that came out first, Hammer and Hendrix promo cards. And then they came out with a whole set of cards from Tom Petty to Ozzy Osbourne, and I have the whole set, and they're just in disarray right now. We went over those, and we went over the All-Star cards that I got from a magazine. That was some of the first ones we went over here. The Hogans. These were. I wish I would have kept them in the actual magazine. The Flair, Rick Martel, Sergeant Slaughter, Iron Sheik. Dusty, Paul Orndorff, Big John. We went through each one of these earlier, so we want to check them out individually. Piper, and of course the Road Warriors, my favorite team of all time. A couple more WCW from '98. Eddie Guerrero. Design on these was okay. They could have did better with the lettering because it kind of blurs in, blends in. Maybe white lettering for the name would have been better. And you can't have Eddie without Chavo, Chavito. Yeah, a lot of RIPs, Dubs. I mean, as we're going through this, it's crazy how many of these wrestlers are no longer with us. Stevie Ray, old NWO. Mongo, another one. Mongo McMichael. Steve McMichael, NFL player turned wrestler. How about a talk show host turned wrestler? Jay frickin' Leno. You know, WCW did a lot of that. We have some Horseman cards. Eric Bischoff. How about Ernest the Cat Miller? I love Ernest the Cat Miller. Mean Gene. And then the Nitro Girls. How about the Nitro Girls? Tigress. Roddy Piper. Was he a Nitro Girl? Kidman. I met Billy Kidman in a strip club once. True story. This is a cool one if you're a NWO Wolfpack fan. Sting with the red and black. Bret Hart when he made his trip over to WCW as well. And we started with Luger. We end with Luger. And now we'll go to a set of cards that I bought recently at a card show in Washington. Somebody better call me mama. Yeah, I was wondering. I was trying to remember the thing. Thank you, Mr. Rabbit Chihuahua. Good name, too. I love that name. Welcome to the show. You're tuned into Blaised Radio. We're going over a bunch of wrestling cards from back in the day. We are up to 1990. What are we up to? 1999. WCW NWO Nitro. I found this set of cards. I think it was like $20 in a little stack. And I was like, $20. That's all me. So WCW Nitro cards from 99. That's, I guess, right before the takeover and all that, right? Let's see ones that we have in our. Oh, we got we talk about DDP. There's Diamond Dallas Page. Focus, Daniel-san. DDP. Another Goldberg. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. Goldberg was the man back in the day. Literally, like Heenan used to say. I mean, a lot of people think his career is tainted because some of his matches later on in his career, but man, when he was on, he was on. The dog face gremlin. No, Jimmy King. A Jimmy King card. But I got Booker. King Booker. No, Booker T from WCW days. These are really, I like the design of these. Even look at the back, the fire and stuff on the side, like the cage, the setup from the show. So very nice design on these. Another one I'd probably put in my top 10, maybe even top 5. Lionheart, Chris Jericho, still doing it to this day. Him and Sting, God bless them. Jericho. Here's another guy I met at that strip club in Fort Wayne, Indiana after that show, Perry Saturn. They put him in a little tutu or something, and he went from the guy in chains and stuff to the guy in a dress or whatever. Hey, you do whatever you can do to get on TV. A lot of people say the greatest big man in wrestling history. Can't really argue with it. Bam Bam Bigelow. Focus. Big Bam Bam. Oh, man. The Disco Inferno. Why not? Why not Disco? I'd rather Shifty Dance, to be honest with you. Now, you guys remember Chronic? How about Wrath? My Mount Rushmore was probably Sting, Flair, and the Road Warriors. Dusty and Jericho close behind. There's Wrath. They even say what his name was. Wasn't it Brian Clark or something? I really liked what the team of those guys. Remember Jindrak and O'Hare, too. Jindrak and O'Hare were really good. About the infamous Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio. This is who Jacob Fatu reminds me of. Meng. Focus, Danielson. Meng, you guys remember Meng? Just dominant when he got in the ring. Adams and Clark Chronic, that's right. Boy, people made fun of him, but he's a good character. He's a good wrestler. Glacier. Anybody remember Glacier? I believe he's an agent now. Working behind the scenes. Glacier. Ming was the man. Let's see who we got here. Bam Bam Bigelow. Primetime likes Bam Bam. Chronic, Adams and Clark. Yep. Jericho. Ming. That's not Lance Storm. That's Glacier. I don't know. You guys tell me. Who the hell is Chaos? Did he wrestle as a different name or anything? It's fuzzy. I can't get the focus. There we go. Who's Chaos? You guys remember Chaos? They're not going to tell you, like, inspired Rick Steiner, tag team partner, Chaos Strong safety at Dean College. His favorite team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I guess I like him now. I don't remember who Chaos is. You guys remember Chaos? Lenny Lane. Oh, boy. Now we're dipping into him. We said it before. Norman Smiley. I love it. Norman Smiley did a little bit of shit, yeah. Chaos was a tag team. No, that was a single guy, though. Billy Kidman. Very underrated. Love what he did. Oh, the dancing guy. Alex Wright. The Wunderkind. Alex Wright. I'll make him dance. Go, Alex. Go, Alex. Lenny Lane and Lodi. Yes. Here we go. Let's see if you guys can guess this one. Who is that? Who's better? Who is it? Guess the wrestler. We'll play some Guess the Wrestler here. Let's see who gets it first. Who can guess the wrestler? First person to type it in there. Cannon? Or I know what you meant. Or Kion? Or Cannon? You guys just trying to type real fast. Who's better than Canyon? To me, one of the most underrated wrestlers. His offense. It seems like every time he had a match, he did something different. Yeah, Norman Smiley's training in NXT now, too. Yes, he is. Yes, he is indeed. Nevermore. Raven. Great character. The Flock was great. I loved Raven. Just a really good character. Oh, who said it earlier? There he is. Lodi. I liked him, too. I think he was carrying the signs around and shit. Good wrestler. I liked it. No ICP. I remember they were there. And you better call my mama. There he is again, Ernest the Cat Miller. Really cool design, like I said on the back. There's a little better focus of one. All right, now this one's a tough one. See if you guys can guess who this wrestler is. Who is that? He went by a different name in WWF. He's almost unrecognizable compared to his other moniker. Who is it? Yes, but what he was called the Disciple. It's Brutus. He was also in that strip club in Fort Wayne. Yeah, Brutus Beefcake, the disciple. Me and my friend went to Thunder in Fort Wayne, Indiana, for those that don't know the story. And we went to a place called Showgirls afterwards. We're like, I wonder if any wrestlers would go there. As soon as we walked through the door, I looked to the right, and there was the Big Show, the giant, sitting on 2 chairs with a girl on each leg, and the disciple sitting right next to him, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Billy Kidman and Saturn were at the bar. Billy Kidman had all these girls surrounded him. Saturn got off the bar, went over and one of these little side stages, stuck a $5 bill in his mouth, and the girl picked it up, but she didn't use her hands. So we took the seats right there next to Kidman, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. We weren't like, hey, let me sign autographs, shit like that. But as we walked out of the strip club, here comes someone ducking under the door to get through, and it was Kevin Nash. So I got to give him a little too sweet on the way out. It was just cool to see them outside of the arena. Here's another one. Who is this? Who is that guy? Anybody know who that is? It's a tough one. I don't think anyone's going to get this one. Going once. Going twice. Tough one. Anyone want to guess? He has a junior in his name. Yeah. Bobby Duncombe Jr. Go ahead, Bagwell. Bobby Duncombe Jr. Let's see who else we got here. There's Conan. Come on, focus. There we go. Conan. Or do come. Bobby do come. The stuff. Buff the Stuff Bagwell. No focus on that one. There we go. Buff Bagwell, NWO. See, now we get into the they actually split the cards, WCW and NWO. Bischoff. Let's see if we can go through some of these a little quicker here. We got Hogan, NWO Hogan, NWO Scott Hall, NWO Horace Hogan, Scott Steiner, NWO. This is when you know the NWO is too big, when they have to have a whole set of just them. Stevie Ray, Brian Adams, Vincent, another RIP. Kurt Hennig, another RIP. You got then they got the red and black Butterfly. What is up, Butterfly? That's right. Tell them. You got the red and black Savage, Sting. These are tough to see because of the design. There's Kevin Nash. Luger with the red and black. And you have Horseman, Flair, Anderson, Malenko, Benoit, Steve McMichael. That's when the 4 Horsemen had 5, I guess. Another guy I really liked, and he came back for like one match, and he was real controversial too. Mr. Juventud Guerrera. Hoovy Juice. I don't think I have Ultimate Warrior. Eddie Guerrero with a Y, not an IE. Psychosis. La Parca. Damien. Hector Garza. And you got the Nitro women part of the set. Miss Elizabeth. Oh, Kimberly. Kimberly. DDP, you were a lucky man. I guess. Spice, I wasn't big on her. A lot of people like Spice. She was like the leader for a while. These are all Nitro girls ones. AC Jazz. Tigress is a hottie. Whisper. Remember they would just come out and dance around, shake their thing to start every show. Whisper. Che. Fire. Storm. That's the ladies. And then these are some action cards. Hogan for president. Big sexy Kevin Nash. Feel the bang. Zabisco and Heenan, Doug Dillinger, and Sonny. Oh no! Yes, they're all at my house. Yep. All right, so that was WCW Nitro 1999. I'm gonna party like it's 1999. Storm is Booker's wife. Yep, that's who she was. I got these last 2 years ago. Now 3 years ago. Holy shit, 2 years ago because I think it was 21, 22. But I actually bought a uncut sheet of the first 9 cards that they made for the AEW set. However, I don't have them. I can't find where that sheet is, but there's a Britt Baker that won't focus. There we go. A little bit. And it's graded. So we'll go through these real quick, highlighting a few. Obviously, the first card was, well, he was the face of the company then. Now he's the face of WWE. Adrenaline in your soul. Something, Cody Rhodes. Ah, Whoa! You got Cody Rhodes, Chris Statlander, one of my favorites in the women's division. Sean Spears. I mean, he was in NXT, but now they haven't been really using them, have they? I know he showed up there and fought a little bit. We got Dustin Rhodes. These cards were focusing really good before. Let me just skip to a couple good ones here because we got a lot of them. Hangman Adam Page. Spears is all over NXT. I know he was there for a week or two, but I haven't seen him in the last few weeks. But I've been watching it shoddy. Fathom in the building. Big shout out to you, Fathom. Missing in action. I think he's making a movie or he's hurt, or I know he got divorced from Lana because Lana's in my bed. There you go. Miro. So these ones I had in, there's the Britt Baker that I have graded. Britt. Love what this guy's doing right now, John Moxley. Love what he's doing right now, taking over the company, Combat Club. I think they should just call him just the Combat Club. I know he signed to NXT and he was there, but he's not like, it doesn't seem like he's a regular. Get well soon. I really hope to see him back in action soon. Kenny Omega. Love watching him in the ring. Hopefully he'll be coming back soon. Let's see who else we got here. The Young Bucks. Abaddon. Scary. Well, Jack Perry now, but back then he was Jungle Boy. Let's see. This is another one I believe will be showing up on NXT or sooner than later is Ricky Starks. Great fighter. Let's see who else we I have a weird feeling this might be the next AEW champion. At Wrestle Dream or whatever, Darby has his shot and they just delayed it. He's a #1 contender. He's got to fight Moxley first, but I think he might be the one to beat Danielson. It seems like something Danielson would do is put over one of the young ones to take the title off of him at the end. So I wouldn't be surprised if Darby Allin takes that title. Well, he's in TNA now, but Matt Hardy. Broken Matt. How did they mess up Broken Matt? It was so over back in the day. Mitch Koski's favorite wrestler, of course. Number 24 in the PWI's top 500. What a run he had with that international championship. Another one we're going to see in NXT or on the main roster soon. I don't know what they're going to do with the Lucha Brothers, but I did hear that the Lucha Brothers were signed to WWE. So be interested to see what they do with him. Penta and Ray, two of the best wrestlers on the planet. Now the GM, Christopher Daniels, playing a GM role in AEW now. I really believe they are starting to turn the corner. Hopefully they start to do better. They're doing better with storylines. The last two pay-per-views, All In and All Out, were pretty wild. A lot of people complaining about the gruesome spots, but hey, getting people's attention. Brian Cage was never going to be a world champion. He's always had the look, but never really got a push. Name Kill Switch now, but Luchasaurus. He's like the Big Show of nowadays, turning back and forth. A friend of mine, CJ Sensation from the podcast, from the WrestleSense podcast, good friends with Colt. Colt was live on Twitch the other night doing the new Dirty Filthy Jackbox, the interactive games. Big shout out to Boom Boom, Colt Cabana. Definitely worth a follow on Twitch. Another one I hope to show up somewhere. I don't care if it's an AEW, WWE, NXT. Local guy here to the area. I believe he's from the Ohio area, but fought a lot in Pittsburgh. IWC Wardlow. Rookie card. Here we go. Rookie card. MJF rookie card. Look how he looks thinner and smaller there. Like he's a lot more jacked now. But God, good on the mic. Great on the mic. MJF. A lot of people don't want to see this, but I like her. I don't want to see her fight, but Brandy Rhodes. I know she showed up when Cody won the title, but I'm surprised they haven't used her at some. Maybe when Cody turns heel, they'll bring Brandy out for something because she'll definitely garner some heel heat. Oh, we're almost done, but yes, one of my greatest, one of my favorites. Everything he does touches the gold. People hated the new gimmick he was doing now, the learning tree, and hey guys, now it's over. I think you can put a turd in Jericho's hand and he can get it over. Holy Shida, one of my favorite women wrestlers. The other Lucha brother, Ray Phoenix. I just hope they don't take Penta and Ray and throw them in the damn LWO or something over there. And the last singles one, RIP Brody Lee. Man, just to think of what he could have continued to do if he wouldn't have passed away as a tribute card for Brody Lee. Him and Bray, it's just like so crazy. Now, when the older wrestlers pass away, yes, it sucks because it's part of your childhood. But when they're in the 80s or 90s and they fought, wrestled their entire life. But when the younger wrestlers die, that's when it's really, Bama Boys in the house. Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Keep those thumbs up coming or Butterfly will get you. But Brody Lee, Bray Wyatt, some of the younger ones that have passed away recently is really tragic. And that's, because you think of what if they would have been around. We got tag team ones here. Best Friends, Butcher and a Blade, FTR. Oh, God, shows how old this is. The Inner Circle. Jurassic Express. There's the Lucha Bros. Phoenix and Penta. Yeah, I love it, bro. We do a lot more. We do at eFed. We do wrestling stuff. I do the Legion of Dork, which is hey, actually, I'll show you. We'll come back and finish off this and show you one more card after this quick little commercial break, and you can see what else we do here on the channel with a little football and other collectibles. Stay tuned.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Blaised Radio Network and Hardcore Sports Network here on YouTube. Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, it's the NFL Red Zone Show. All the games, play-by-play, live game audio, and statistics. Join me, Blaze McCoy, with some wild and wacky commentary like always, and enjoy 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 games or more all at once. Every big play, every touchdown, the Red Zone Show. In case you can't catch your game or want alternate commentary, stop by and enjoy the ride. It's non-stop football action. Right here on the Blaised Radio Network, right here on YouTube. Hardcore Sports Network, the Red Zone Show coming this fall. Every Sunday at 1. See ya in my stream. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a dork, it's a couple dorks, reminiscing some nostalgia in classic video games, toys, and cartoons. I'm your boy Blaised McCoy, and with my awesome friend Super Nacho, we invite you to join us in the Legion of Dork, a podcast where we talk about our favorites of the past and discuss it all with you. The good old days when video game arcades were full, pinball, and more. When the toy stores were stocked to the ceilings with all your favorites like G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Well, it started all with Pong with me in the 70s. Then Atari, Nintendo, Sega, ColecoVision, and television, and more brought new classics. Classics like Space Invaders, pew pew pew, and Donkey Kong, Pitfall, Dig Dug was a great one. Spent a lot of quarters on Galaga, that's for damn sure. Tecmo Bowl, hut, 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 touchdown, and all the sports games. Super Mario Brothers became an instant classic, so did Zelda and Sonic the Hedgehog. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was a great one to play. So was Street Fighter, Hadouken, and all the fighting games. Star Wars toys and Hot Wheels is where I started collecting toys back in the day. Masters of the Universe, and you can't forget the bad guys. Of course, Transformers, more than meets the eye. Inhumanoids are here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell. Can't forget the wrestling figures, WWF, AWA, and those little guys, the Muscles. Yeah, I love playing with those, are great. Thundercats, ho! And even Voltron brought them all together with movies, cartoons, and toys. Join us in the Legion of Dork right here on the Blaised Radio Network, here on YouTube. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Blaised Brew proudly brings to you Eliminator Beer. Don't get eliminated, get obliterated. Drink Eliminator Beer. Comes in a wide variety of flavors and colors. Available now at your local liquor stores, beer distributors, grocery stores, gyms, hairdressers, gas stations, restaurants, doctor's offices, pubs, bars, brothels, strip clubs, and street corners. Eliminator Beer, get one now. You won't be disappointed. You'll be shit-faced drunk. Not a real product. Not a real product, Eliminator Beer. But yes, Legion of Dork. You see a lot of the collectibles behind me. A lot of Star Wars, He-Man, old school collectibles, wrestling stuff down here in the corner. All these cards here that I collect, football, baseball, basketball, all the helmets that I have up top and everything. I got a lot of collectibles. So the Legion of Dork is a really fun podcast. We talk about old or retro TV and movies and stuff like that too. Oh, and of course, for good old Mitch Kofsky, I'm going to bring back Cassidy and say, Mitch, what do you think about Orange Cassidy?
Orange Cassidy is awesome.
That's what I thought. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mitch. So to close out, we have the tag teams. We have some behind-the-scenes guys for AEW, Arn Anderson, some of the legends, the older. Upper Deck did a good job on these cards, in my opinion. Billy Gunn, boy, is he ageless, looking great in his 50s and so forth. Jake the Snake, saw him at a local card show recently. Big shout out to Jake the Snake. We saw Jim Ross in one of the first sets that we had. Now he's in the final set here. I love ring announcing. I love doing it on the eFed. So same thing here. Speaking of the eFed, let's talk about that for those who don't know. Before we finish out, why not one more commercial?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yo, 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 it's your boy Blaised McCoy, the lunatic kick from the sticks, the Steel City Sultan, your dungeon master, creator, commentator, promoter, MC, DJ, ring announcer, play-by-play, all that good stuff.
and you're tuned into the Blaised Radio Network as part of the Digital Wrestling Syndicate here on YouTube, where we're showcasing your original created characters with custom shows, titles, arenas, and music. Our digital wrestling shows feature you in action in the ring, putting unity back in the community and repping many other channels with unique events like the Combat Kingdom Stable Wars, Game Night with interactive chat, games, and prizes, the Get Blaised Talk Show with special guests, show reviews, recaps, and live interviews, digital collector cards for roster pages on our Wix website where you can find everything you need to know about LTD, and check out the TeePublic store for your LTD merchandise. Promotional consideration paid for by the following: Blaze Brews Eliminator Beer. Don't get eliminated, get obliterated. Drink Eliminator Beer. And sit back, relax, let the AI take you for a ride. But always remember this: we're all leaning towards death. Some are just a little bit closer. Peace and positive vibes to all you, and stay tuned to Blaze Radio, hook, line, and sinker. This is your boy Blaze McCoy saying, see ya in my stream.
All right, so now we can finish off. So we did have all of our promotions, our shameless promotions and stuff. So yes, Legion of Dork, I'll do more of that. We got the Blaze cards. We do football every Sunday, the Red Zone, and the E-Fed, which you saw right there, which I make digital cards for those that are there. And you can actually see those digital cards here on the website. So if you visit our website for the E-Fed, you can actually click on a roster page, check out their digital card. Here is Atticus Black. I'm in the process of making new ones of these for some of the newer wrestlers. You know, on the back of the card, I really enjoy designing these cards. You have their nickname, their height, their weight, their hometown, their finishers, the titles they've held. So yeah, a lot of different ones like that. We can look at Blade Charge. There's his card, a Grand Slam champion. And let's see who else it's here. Whoops. We got Shifty the Drunken Dragon Clown. Colorful character there. Grand Slam champion. And his card as well. I'll be designing some new cards for more roster members that have just joined the company. I enjoy doing that. So we'll do more of that, as well as you can check out the website and all the match cards coming up, all the tag teams and everything right there on the website. Jesse Jackhammer, shout out to you. Big Show. Yeah, we had him in the WCW cards. So the last couple ones here in the AEW pack are, you know, some of the legends like Sting. Very cool card there. Taz doing commentary now. Tony Schiavone, the man, if you ask me, still doing commentary after all these years. Tully Blanchard. And then they have some of these look like magazine covers. Sting, Brian Cage, Britt, Jericho, Cody, Colt, Darby Allin, Sheeta, Moxley, Omega, Lance Archer, Matt Hardy, the Young Bucks, everybody. More Orange Cassidy there. How about it? And Sammy Guevara. So that's all those cards. And now, like I said in the beginning, there are a lot of cards nowadays. And the wrestling cards have come back. I don't have a lot of the newer cards. Spending a little too much money for some of those cards for the packs, but I do have one I want to show off, and that is Prism Kevin Nash card. So Kevin Nash Prism card. There we go. Focus. So Prism does a good job with the cards. There's sets of these. There's NXT sets, and there's a bunch of other sets as well too. Hey, Jessica's here. Keep those thumbs up coming, guys. You guys are killing it in the chat. So there are newer cards that are out now, wrestling cards. If I could find a cheap box of them, I would buy them. But for like $2, $3 a card, not even open, it's kind of tough to afford them. But there are some nice cards that are newer as well. So that is about it. I mean, we went through cards all the way back from good old Hogan rookie card from 1985 all the way up to the 2020s with Kevin Nash. A little trip down memory lane with all the different types of wrestling cards. We went over non-sports cards as well and showed off some of those that I have just to get something different. But that's about it. I wanted to thank everyone for popping in, stopping in, hanging out with your boy Blaze, whether it's 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, the whole damn show. It's much appreciated. The next time we do a Blaze cards, maybe I'll buy some boxes of cards to open here, show off some other cards that I'm going to start adding to my eBay page to sell as well. I got these boxes right here that I've pulled out of my personal collection that are now going to be for sale. So maybe we'll go over some of those as well. But I just wanted to go through a lot of the wrestling cards that I had all the way back to, you see the pack from 85 to the 91 WCW cards that we went through with the Ric Flairs and the Stings, to the 99s and 98s of WCW and NWO. We talked about the newer cards now, as well as the AEW cards that came out. So if you're watching a replay, leave me a comment so I know you stopped by. Who's your favorite wrestler? Which one of these cards did you like the best? We showed off hundreds of cards right now, but I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you tune in. Hope you subscribe to the channel and come back for digital wrestling tomorrow at 4 o'clock, NFL football on Sunday. We finished up with the garden streams. Yes, I do garden streams also, just chilling in the backyard. Check out all the different stuff that I have on the channel, if you will. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I always say this is an all-inclusive channel. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you are, or how you're doing. You're more than welcome here on the channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you for being a part of the show. Check out the beginning if you miss it. We did the final garden stream the other day, Butterfly, if you want to check that out, where we just talked about closing down the garden, ripping it up, and waiting for next year to do some fun stuff as well. And I love sharing this stuff with you guys. You guys are awesome. Odds, I appreciate you. Always helpful. Jessica always keeps me amused and fun in the chat. Butterfly holding it down as one of the mods, as well as Odds. Selena, appreciate you as well. And Jesse Jackhammer, shout out to you. Thank you so much. Yeah, be a part, Rabid Chihuahua. Great name. And with the Friday the 13th today, I really like your avatar. Scary. Pinhead. But I appreciate each and every one of you being a part of the show. Hope you see you in the streams, everybody. And that's going to do it for tonight. And as always, someone's always about to get blazed. And y'all just got blazed. I'm out of here. Peace, everybody. See you later. Great Mama's here. Just in time for the end. Wrestling Mama, shout out to you, Wrestling Mama. I don't know if you saw the surprise announcement at the end of last night's show, but check it out. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys check out Wrestling Mama. She will be live here shortly with Wrestling Survivor. So I will drop the link here. So if you're not, check out Wrestling Mama. There's the link for her channel. So check it out. Click on that link. In about 15 minutes or so, Wrestling Mama will be live with Wrestling Survivor, a digital wrestling show on the video game 2K24 based off of the TV show Survivor. Very interesting, very interactive, very fun. So check out Wrestling Mama, and salute to each and every one of you. See, I got you, Mama. I love you, bestie. Mwah! Shout out to you and Hugo. And once again, I'll see you in the streams. We out of here.